Oh wow, we are back. We are back. Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe. We are in the house. City Hood Click. Man, y'all know the vibe. Let's go. We are in here. We are in here. Shout out to Marlena Williams, Postmaster General on. Do not forget to smash those like buttons. Welcome to the mail room. Shout out to the mail room nation, the mail room goons, where we come to this dialogue, set it down, set the record straight, correct, self-correct. We do a lot of things over here in the mailroom. We don't just let stuff slide. Even when I'm in, not necessarily in I'll get out of pocket sometime when I say certain things, and I have to go back and correct my information. So that happens. That's part of being human, right? Yeah. So that's where we at with that. So glad. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Is the volume everything okay? Shout out to Marlene. We got 10 people jumping up and in here. Click those notification bell. Press the thumbs up. Click the notification. Shout out to the mailroom. Can you guys hear me okay? I would like to say, right, in regards to subs, right? Subs. There's maybe about 50% of you guys that don't subscribe to the channel, but you like listening. I was looking at the analytics. I was looking at the analytics again today, and I don't know what it is why people just simple subscribe and keep it pushing. That helps me. That helps me bring the content. That helps me do what I do. It's an encouragement. It's an encouragement. But I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on that. We'll come back to that point, but I appreciate it. I really, 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 really appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel when you come into the mail room. I believe it's just only right. Just in my opinion, it's only right. So shout out to GE. What's going on with you, bro? King Mike Marks, what's happening, brother? How you guys doing today? How's your day going, first of all and foremost? Good, good. You guys see the title, Eugenics. Road Wade. Let's see what else we got up in there. We talking about R. Kelly, Tigger, YG, R. Kelly. We got a lot of things we got to cover today, and hopefully we can cover most of it. But what I want to start off with Saturday, right? And Saturday I was around my homie Jank and the homie Cleabone, which is Bone, right? And me and Bone got into a real heavy, deep discussion, and we were discussing eugenics. We we discussed eugenics, and we also discussed Roe Wade. So we were having a pretty good dialogue about it, and I had to go do some research, and he actually got me going right as to where I was like underinformed on the eugenics side because I was thinking cryogenics, and cryogenics is a whole different study versus eugenics. So let's get into the eugenics. Eugenics was created by a guy by the name of Francis Galton. Francis Galton. You could go look it up. Shout out to Terrence Graham. I'm here for this. You can go look him up, right? It is a study of how it arranged reproductions within the human population to increase the occurrence of heritable characteristics. It was deployed largely by the guy, Francis Galton. So what I want to tell you about Francis Galton was like related to Darwin. Darwinism is the guy that created this phony scientific study that said man evolved from monkeys. And they had went on with that for quite some time. And this is how these guys was able to brutally attack, uh, just dehumanize us as a people, our skin, this color, this melanation, right? These beautiful people. They were able to do it based on fake, phony scientific studies, right? So it was proven unscientific. This study was proven unscientific, but it was adopted by no other Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler. Interesting, right? Interesting. In order to justify its treatment of Jews, black people, disabled people, and undesirable people, or people that was just that come from global majority. Let's put it that way, the global majority. So this is how they was able to justify that, So, but we get this lady, right, who comes around about 19 something, early 1900s, real early 1900s. Her name was Margaret Sanger. She is the lady that created Planned Parenthood. She created it in 1916, and the idea of Planned Parenthood first was a birth control clinic was placed in, guess what? Everybody should know this. It was placed in Brownsville, New York. What's in Brownsville, New York? Black people, right? Black people again. So when I'm telling you guys that if you got a Margaret Sanger who's in collusion with this Francis Galton, and then you got Adolf Hitler hanging in the wing. So all these things I'm speaking to you is no coincidence. It's no coincidence. So now we find ourselves fighting this Roe Wade, and what's interesting about Roe Wade is that all the Western states where we are centered in California, New York, and I would say would be a liberal states, right? But nobody is challenging the fact that since 1973, over 19 million black babies have been aborted. Let me say that again. 19 million black babies have been aborted. That's quite an interesting number. That was astronomical. But Margaret Sanger was a racist eugenicist extraordinaire, and she formed this eugenics type of scientific study. She believed in it with this Francis Galton. He was propelled in society by he was a proponent of society by Darwinism. Darwinism is an unproven scientific study, and for many years, people of European descent kind of followed that. This is how they was able to use it as a measuring stick to how they would treat us and mistreat us, and it stood for quite some time. So then come 1927, Buck versus Bell, Oliver Wendell Holmes, right? Oliver Wendell Holmes was one of the, as what they like to say in society, one of the most brilliant legal minds. But to me, he was a piece of, you know what? Because he was the one that made the opinion that the states could use compulsory sterilization against women. That's what this guy did. So when you look at all these different guys and you try to rationalize what was all this about? Where was they going with all this? And now we facing with this Roe Wade stuff. But interesting enough, all the states like the Alabamas, the Mississippis, the Georgias, and Virginias, and all these stuff, all these states have circled the wagons. They have circled the wagons. But guess what? Because the white population is dwindling. The white population is dwindling. So when you do these Google searches and everything, you don't see their numbers, which is interesting. You can do a Google search and see how many white women that have aborted babies, and you come up and on yourself, John. Right? Okay, Marlene, I'm just reading your comment. You'll see that there's not a whole lot of information there. So why is the information so ready available for us on what we did? On what we did. So I have a theory, right? 2000, and me and Bone was having this discussion. Me and Bone don't like to come on the internet. I wish I could get him on here the way he can come break this down, but he really don't. But he's a very, very astute individual, very brilliant, smart, and he knows his stuff, right? We was going on back and forth about these eugenics, right? And I had to go research the eugenics and find out that Steve Bannon, yes, Steve Bannon is a part of eugenics. What's even more interesting than that, I think it's Steve Bannon's son is part of the big three with Ice Cube, with your brother Ice Cube. What is Ice Cube doing? A plan for Black America. What is your plan for Black America, Ice Cube? What is really your plan for Black America, Ice Cube? Are you being Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Ralph Abernathy rolled up in one? Was that what you was really doing? So, and I'm not just necessarily casting our brother out. You know what I mean? Because we want to do that. And sometimes we adopt white people and kick black people out. That's just what we do. We have to do that. We sometimes occasionally have to adopt some white people into our culture and kick some black folks out. That's just what happened because we got some white folks that really, really fight for us. We don't want to undervalue that. So when I got back and I did another search, most babies are aborted. 86% of the babies are aborted by single women, which that kind of made sense. I don't see married women. That's something they would take up with. But then it got real interesting when I started just going around and looking at just certain numbers, right? I got into the numbers, right? In 2021, right? 2021, black people Black people spent over $1.6 trillion. That is up by 500 billion since the last time it was reported. 500 billion. But our net worth dropped by 14%. That's that's odd and strange in itself. It's too. So I attributed it to a lot of different stuff. So when I looked at Mercedes Benz, right? I'm just giving you an example. Mercedes Benz, right? There's some nice cars. They look really nice. They look really, nice people. They're chic and stylish and cool. And they look real nice out there, right? But when I went into it and I did the numbers on it, black people buy twice the amount of Mercedes Benz, twice the amount of Mercedes Benz than other people. Why is that? Because it is a status. It is a status because we haven't really attained freedom, right? So, but if we can garner and harness the things that represent freedom, we got a sense of it, right? So, this is why you'll see black people buying Mercedes Benz, Bentleys, and Rolls Royces, and won't even own no property. They won't own no property, and that's problematic to me because if you go back and start doing the statistics, the data, the research, and coming up with the facts, things start to stick out, and you start to be really, really, really frustrated at what you're reading and what you're understanding and what you're comprehending on this. You see, because I asked the Creator, I asked to increase me in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and purify my heart and purify my mind, to give me the mental acuity to handle the things that I'm understanding, because I want to understand, overstand, and understand. So I want to stand on all 3 points. And sometimes I'm often saddened by some of the statistics. So here's another sad statistic for you. We spent over 600 billion on alcohol last year. We spent over 900 billion on fast food. So we all know what these two things do: fast food, alcohol, and I didn't even want to get in on the marijuana. I didn't even want to know that number for whatever reason. I just didn't want to know it because we're so engaged and so indulgent, overindulgent in some of the things that have no real significance or we can't build on it. So I've been thinking about it, and I talked to Cynthia about this. Is nail guns over handguns? I want to implement something called nail guns and over handguns, and I would definitely have Cynthia be a part of that because I think nail guns represent. If you put a nail gun in a hand and take a handgun out, a nail gun represents building up. When you show somebody how to build, building has a way of assimilating itself into the mind and the body to where you look to build up before you tear down. So I want that. I want our kids to know how to build up because right now we're building up. And the thing about it, right? When I went, and this is another sad thing. You know what I mean? And watch this, right? Planned Parenthood, right? Gangbanging ain't the biggest responsibility of Black death. Cancer is not the biggest instrument used against Black death, right? Car accidents, none of this, alcoholism, drug overdose, none of that. You know what's the biggest responsibility in Black death? Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood. So these are harsh realities that we have to face and we have to deal with and contend with in this space, in this time. So we got to get our heads out the sand. We got to stop watching all this, what is it, basketball wives and housewives and love and hip hop and stuff. These things are distractions. When you see the things that's going on in the clubhouse, that is a distraction. You see to anywhere to 5 to 6, 10,000 people spending all day, every day on Clubhouse. How do they make a living for themselves? How do they take care of their families? You're doing it for free. If you're on Clubhouse, I don't see how you're making money. I just don't. Now you may be smart enough to be able to take some of that those subs or whatever and parlay it into a podcast or something, maybe a YouTube show. I don't know, and start using that to make some money. I don't know. I don't care where the reparations money or any of what that people do with it. I need to give it to us like they do for those other groups. Yeah, I believe that too, bro. But we got to fix ourselves, right? We got to first start taking the lies out and replace it with the truth. That's what we got to do. So again, we're back into the statistics, man. You can't enjoy true freedom unless we believe that we can't enjoy it because unless we have the status. Like if we wear, a lot of Gucci, and sometimes I'm guilty of that as myself. I'm not exempt from nothing I'm saying. Trust me, I'm not exempt from nothing I'm saying because I had to cultivate and other words, free myself, reassign my DNA, and free myself from ancestral trauma, cultivating space, master the soul lessons, and cultivate space for the abundance to flow in which I speak now. I speak the language of the universe. I speak the language of the God that's within me. God said He created man in His own image, so that is the information that I am speaking because I asked Him for that will, for that power, for that endurance, that mental acuity right there. I don't get on here shucking and jiving, sitting and thinking in deep meditation, shucking and jiving, dope popping and lollygagging. That's not my thing. That is not my thing. Now, I don't do what they do. I do the other thing. I don't do what everybody else on YouTube do. I do other things. I do things that I believe that adds volume, growth, maturity to what this thing's supposed to be. Some people think that I'm in for the glorification of gangbanging. I am not. I want to eradicate, remove, and extinguish gangbanging. That's what I want to do because we don't belong there. That's not our thing. We watch John Dillinger, we watch Machine Gun Kelly, Maul Barker, Scarface, The Godfather, Italian movies. Long ago, remember, before there was Italian movies, there was the cowboy era. We were watching all those westerns. Then they start watching all the mob movies. The next thing you're gonna be watching is all the Crip and Blood movies. That's what's coming next, bro. That's what's coming next. And if you don't know how to get on the board with that and utilize what they did and generate that and utilize that to make money, to make wealth, to make uh, generational wealth off of the sweat and the things that you've done. See, because they did it, and nobody is mad at them for doing that. But the moment we start doing that, we start, you know what I mean? Everybody's mad, and we got our own black people demonizing us, calling us this and that. Some of that stuff is just culture, bro. You getting it too, bro? I appreciate your views, man. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate you too. Johnny Sullivan, how you been, bro? Johnny selling my number. You put your number up in there, Johnny. Johnny dropped his number in the chat, y'all. God's property. What's happening, man? Listen here, man. I ran into this brother, Jay the trucker with the bulldog on his side, man. I ran into him today. I think that was Monday, Tuesday at over there in Hawthorne, man. A good brother, man. He greeted. greeted me like a good brother, man, and smiled, and I could feel his energy. His energy was very vibrant. I could just tell, man, sometimes when you meet people, you know who they are. You know what I mean? It just was something that God planted in you that makes you gravitate towards good people. You know what I mean? And then when you know when them demons around, you know who they are because haters, right? True haters hate from a distance. It's the envy ones is the ones that be right next to you. Them the ones that's most detrimental to whatever your existence is. So you gotta be whereful of them, man. Yeah, you do. Man, shout out to Jay though, man. Jay the Chuck. Black population control. Yeah, Planned Parenthood is black population control. Man, that was this one chick, right? And I'm not gonna give her a name, man, because that wouldn't be right. But she bragged about having 14 abortions, 14 whole abortions. She was like, I had 14, and she didn't feel nothing bad about it or anything. There was nothing shown in her eyes or facial expressions or nothing in her words that was going to change her direction for the way she felt about having those 14 abortions. You know, I was shocked. I didn't know what to say by hearing that. I just didn't know. I didn't know what to say. You know what I mean? And this was a relatable story, of course. You know what I mean? When I was hearing the story from the individuals I was hearing from, but it, I was outdone. I don't know who does that. How do we get there? How do we come from kingdoms and complex architecture to where we are today? I'll tell you how. It's because America created, and I'm gonna say the word. I usually don't say these words, but I'm gonna say it. America created niggas. But we didn't come here then. We came here as mathematicians, astronomers, doctors, builders, creators. We help plant the seeds, till the soil, build the country. We build every inch of it. And now they don't want to give her our due respect. Put some respect on our name. Not nigga, but the black man, the super black man, the super black man and the super black woman. Put some respect on our name. Quit trying to use these fake, phony scientific studies to undermine us, to make us look like we're something other than human. We are the original humans. Hue, man. Watch. Hue is color, right? Hue. Go look it up. Root word. Hue means color. Man means kind. Okay? Hue, man. That's who we are. See, because we're the makers and the owners of civilization. We are the salt. We are the cream of this planet. And they recognize that because that's why we excel and we motivate, man. Man, it's just, we can go on, man. It's just the motivation, the innovation, shot takers, man. That's what we are. We are the shot takers, the innovators, the motivators. That's who we are as a people. And I'm here to help you get there, man. I'm working with the caffeine team, OG Brydog, Rennie Loke, my two favorite people. You know, we on the world's tour with the Fat Caffeine team, going each and everywhere, including Spain, Asia, Africa, Mexico. Went to the places where the people thought we couldn't vibe. See, that's what we doing. We trying to go to the places where the people thought we couldn't vibe and strive. We got to prove them wrong. So, but okay, now that we talked about that, let's talk about our beloved brother R. Kelly. How many people in the chat believe that R. Kelly deserved the 30 years? Now we can always go back and talk about what led him down that rabbit hole, how he became addicted to all the things he was doing and was going on. But how do we not hold the people accountable that was help feeding that monster, that was providing those women, that some of the parents helped provide their daughters to R. Kelly, knowing fully well what was going on? How do you not hold those individuals as accountable for their actions as well? You know, is he totally responsible for everything that happened? What's your thoughts on it? I need a donation car, man, to get to the attorney going to cares going on in my job, and this car accident is having a hard right now. Man, Johnny, man, let's pray for Johnny and hope everything works in his benefit and somehow he find whatever he needs to, you know, to take care of the situation, man. And Johnny, if I had an extra car, I'd definitely let you in it, boy. Man, you my guy, man. You know, I met you over there at in Avalon. Let's see, Mona. Some aren't meant for motherhood, and they're right. Yeah, okay, but isn't life? Does life have a right? See, because that's the thing, Monique. That's we've been cultured and we've been cultured, socially cultured and engineered to be one way and see things in terms of Europeanism. You know what I mean? And somehow that came through your schooling, that came through church, that came to how this society works. We didn't. If you go back and look at to where we came from, the motherland and all that, that wasn't happening. So how did we get it? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling women what to do or what not to do. That's not what I'm doing here. Because everybody have their own set of circumstances why they do certain things, right? She's still living. You go, God's property. Yeah, thank you. We will do all the things, including that, you sir. So, what you guys think about our beloved brother R. Kelly? R. Kelly, yes, sir. White men has been outnumbered. Yeah, that's true. Anybody got any thoughts on R. Kelly? He got 30 years today. 30. He got a big 30 ball. So do those other than Seti Nash, the visionary, man. We got my guy in here, man. Seti Nash is like a little brother, a son, a nephew. He a super cousin. He all that, man. He's the visionary, man. Y'all go follow Seti Nash over there, man. It's the Nash edition. He do really well. I love the way he gives us reactionary. But yeah, we dealing with R. Kelly today, man. What you guys think about that? Salute to Seti Nash. So I guess we don't have too much to say about R. Kelly. What about let's get into the Nina Boy and Bosco fight, man. I thought Nina Boy was walking around the ring like he was selling catfish dinners and watermelon out the back of his trunk. That's just what I thought. That's just my opinion. And Bosco, of course, man, you can probably find a dude just like him over there off of Crenshaw in Manchester at the Shell gas station washing windows. You know, it just man, that fight in itself was just hilarious. It was the funniest thing ever. But being that they had the wherewithal and the heart and the gumption to get out there and do what they did, shout out to them for that, man. And y'all, they know I'm just clowning. I don't mean nothing I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean spirited about it, but it was just so funny. It's just so funny. R. Kelly did totally bogus. Yeah, I guess so, Crystal. But you know what I mean. What I'm saying is that do those other people need to be held accountable? The people that fed him, that aid him, that shepherded those women in and out of that man's dungeon or whatever he had, sexual house or his sexual proclivities. There was people that was helping, aiding him, aiding and abetting in that circumstance. Some of them was the parents of the women. The shy, what's up, man? Make an example of R. Kelly, but they, well, let's see, but they what? Let me see. Okay, but they Maxwell, who was Epstein. Yeah, Epstein. Yeah, you're right. They gave her 20 years. I think R. Kelly should have got that same 20, right? Yeah, that'd have made it even. But again, shy, she white. They got a little empathy for her, a little sympathy for her, right? I think R. Kelly is a whole bunch of other entertainers and politicians rub somebody the wrong way. Yeah, that's true. Check this out. Nina Boy's voice. Yeah, Nina Boy, man. So, I mean, you know, we could talk about all this stuff. We talk about all this stuff in our society and we react to it in a way. that I think we need to react to it. But some of the stuff needs to be checked at the door. When you go to the party, you check your coat at the door or to the closet. Some of that stuff needs to be checked, bro. It just do, man. Then you got Tigger, whatever his name, Tigger and YG dressing in Jag. What what have we come to? What has gangster rap been reduced to? Why is gangster rap feeling now they all have to put on a dress? You see where Young Thug is at. Young Thug made a many of bad decisions. And he was probably one of the first dudes that was wearing a dress. So how do we change that culture? What do we do about that? Is I'm wrong for addressing it? What I think about Cowboy getting on the stand, I think that Cowboy miscalculated what he was going to do, and I think he got in way too deep. He got in so deep that he couldn't take none of it back, bro. Should have just shut up, man. There's nothing to talk to the police about because they're going to expose you, exploit you, and they're going to undermine you, and then they're going to discard you like trash when they're done with you. When all is over, man, Cowboy is not going to be the same, bro. He's going to be a very different individual. He's going to be a very, you're right, she's white. No. You funny, Johnny. Devon Cutmore, what's happening, man? It needs to stop selling their souls for fame and fortune. Has to be consequences, right? Shout out to Crystal for coming in. Crystal, how you been, man? I haven't seen you in quite some time, Crystal. Shout out to Crystal for stopping by the mail room. Shy, they are trying to emasculate black men in all genres. That's true, bro. That's true, but when do you turn down the bag? When is the bag not shouldn't play? When should you not take the bag? Because the bag is always not a good bag. What they say, all money ain't good money. We all heard those terms. Yeah, they don't care about him. Yeah, smacks him. But I want to talk to you guys, right? Well, I got a bunch of guys in here. A lot of you guys come watch the channel and come listen to me speak and come listen to me go through a few different phases, facial expressions, tones. But none of it's personal for me. None of it's personal. I can talk about a multitude of subjects, and you can even criticize me, do whatever you want to do as far as that, because I'm not moved by what people think of me. What I'm moved by is what I think about myself. That's what I'm moved by. That's what motivates me is what I think of myself. I got all kind of adjectives that I can use to make myself spark up and be happy and just be the jovial, as Marlena Williams say, I'm a jovial person, who I am, right? But it's what's ironic to me is that how many people come watch the show and when I find out that 50% of you are not subscribed to the channel, that's kind of bothering right there. I would think that 2 or 3 seconds to subscribe to the show or to the channel is not taken from your day. It's just not. You know what I mean? But if you come here to just be disruptive or say nasty things in the chat, that's fine. We'll just get rid of you. But I appreciate the ones that do have subscribed. You guys are beautiful people. I love the way you guys communicate and come in and ask me questions and stuff. This is all conversation and opinion. Yeah, it is always all conversation and opinion. Nothing. Let me tell you something. They're generalizations, right? And they're also there's nothing is ever 100%. Nothing is ever 100%. And I'm not here to bash or make somebody feel bad, but I do need us as a people to get on code. That's my purpose. I have a meaning and purpose to say some of the things I say. and I'm looking for certain outcomes. And sometimes, maybe I get a little Kevin Samuelish, so to speak. I happen to like that guy. I thought he said some amazing things, and I think he hit some vital points and he hurt some feelings. You know what I mean? But was he wrong on some things? Of course he was. You know, was he right on some things? Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, right, Monique. Good vibes. Yeah, always too, man. Yeah, Isaac, what's happening, bro? Shah, you are correct. When money compromise manhood and integrity, you're no longer in charge of self. No, you're not no longer in charge of self. That is accurate, Shah. And we're gonna get the Shah back in here too, because he has some amazing things to say about Chicago. So I've been trying to build this channel and get it up to where I'm comfortable with it, and I feel like what I'm doing it has a that is it has is significant and it's needed. I don't want to get into the rambling to where there's some channels that they ramble and they don't necessarily give you a whole lot. So I don't want to be pigeonholed into talking about only just game banging. I talk about game banging because that was part of the culture. But again, once again, I just had to write a guy today. He talked about I sound like I glorify game banging. That was fine. I said, bro, but I need you to write Warner Brothers, Lionsgate's, Sony's, and all those big guys that put out Scarface, the Godfather, Machine Gun Kelly, Mo Barker, John Dillinger, all those different movies right there. I need you to write them and tell them that that's what they're doing. Because before this, there was them. You understand? So if you not, as a black person, if you can criticize what I'm speaking on because I want to correct it, see, because history is medicine for a sick mind, because was the history of variety. Y'all heard me say this. I can't not say this often and more. History is medicine for a sick mind, because within history is a variety of human experiences we can teach and learn from. Remember, I lead by the spirit. I ask God's permission to do what I do. I'm not doing it on my own accord. That's what you guys understand. This is spirit driven. That's why I can do it with the happy face. That's why I can do it. I can intellectually respond before I emotionally react. That's just that's the way it's supposed to be done. See, because there's times when things could be said out your circumference of wilderness, it don't mean that you should be mad about it. It means that you need to go back and research. It's just like when I was talking to Bone, and Bone was telling me about eugenics, and I conflated it to cryogenics, and I was trying to, but then I thought about Darwinism. It clicked in my mind. Darwinism. This is what he's talking about. Darwinism. Francis Galton, uh, this lady, Margaret Stanger, all these people, and Adolf Hitler, all these people at some time was linked, and they had the same message. All these people was racist, and now we trust them. Margaret Sanger founded Parent Planned Parenthood. She was an extreme racist. How can she mean you any good? She's no longer here, but their foundation is still here. You see what I'm saying? And it was founded based on eugenics, the study of how arranged reproduction within the human population. They studied that, and it was unscientifically proven, but Hitler adopted it. You understand? Stanger adopted it. All these people adopted that philosophy, that unproven scientists, the unproven scientific findings. And the message was to get rid of Judah. Absolutely true. What about the Dewberry and Loco vision, right? Those brothers are doing whatever they do, bro. They do whatever they do. I applaud them. I salute them. Whatever they rights, they have rights to do whatever they want. Because here's the thing, right? Once you wake up, anything else can be negotiated. Once you wake up again, the wisdom. Once you wake up, anything else can be negotiated. You just gotta wake up. That's why you don't see bees sitting around explaining to flies Why honey is better than S. You just don't see it. I'll tell you what you do see though, and all of us seen this. We've seen both lion and a tiger, both powerful as they are. We've seen them all perform in the circus, but you've never seen a wolf perform in a circus. Another wisdom. Big and tall as a tree is, right? You ain't never heard a tree grow. Never heard it grow. But you seen it blossom. And that's where we at now. We are blossoming. I don't know if we out of retrograde now, but the planets are moving in a way to where we can capitalize, we can mobilize, we can get on code, whether we in New York, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, any parts of Texas, Tennessee, you know what I'm saying? Wherever there's black folk, Atlanta, Georgia, of course, California, Washington, Oregon, wherever we are. We even got black folks in Idaho. You understand? The Dakotas, where we at? We can get on code. If we get on code, we got this. We got this. All we got to do is get on code. But what's problematic to us, and I don't care which one we choose, but let's just choose one. We're Hebrew, we're Christian, we're Muslims, Moore Science Temple, Hare Krishnas, Buddhists. We all these different things. Crips, Bloods, GDs, BDs, all this different stuff, right? Vice Lords. And there's so many cliques in Chicago, I can't even name them all. Shy can name them all. Shy know them all. There's so many of them, man. See, and that's the thing about it. There's 90 people in here watching, only 21 likes. That's, I don't know what's so hard about that. It's just clicking the thumbs, just clicking it. I don't even ask you for no dollars anymore. If you want to put $1 or two, you do it. If not, I guess not. You know what I mean? But that goes to show you that we as a people don't even care about ourselves. I care about myself, and I know most of you in here care about yourselves. But if you don't support one another, then who's going to support us? If we don't support each other, then the other people that's watching, that's outside of our group, they're not going to support us because we don't support each other. That's just the facts. The moment we change that mind, the moment we get up out of that head space to where we think that the brother's looking at us wrong, or he don't like me and all this other stuff. Why can't he just be having a bad day? He don't mean no harm to you, you know. Oh, you two mess with the likes, okay. Yeah, but I'm talking about the subs, bro. There's a lot of people that come watch that don't hit the sub. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't hit it, but they like to watch. You know, that's just it. Seriously, define the hoe. He ain't on code. Make it homosexuality cool. That's for everyone channel. Tell him again, Melly. Melly, boy, how you doing? The one that's going through a bad car accident. Oh, he's doing good, man. He's doing good. They're both doing good. Grandson and nephew, they both do. Thanks for asking, bro. I appreciate it a lot. Are not our people. Exactly. Too much division, too many different levels. John Hinckley Clark said it best. We have no friends. That's interesting. Thank you, Rodney, man. You always, Rodney. This brother right here, he never hesitates to do what he's going to do. He knows the value. He knows the focus. He knows my focus. He knows the value of the words that I'm speaking. And I appreciate you, brother. I truly do. Roe versus Wade, women's right. Men can get a vasectomy and reversible. Tyga and YG has a great, confident personality. R. Kelly, 30 years. Yeah, I just be trying to understand it, Seashells. I be trying to understand what is the motivation behind some of these things. Hand God, hand God, T. You a hand God? I like the hand gods, T. This channel, not the channel where the grown ups acting like little girls. You gotta do somewhere else for that. Yeah, you get. I mean, I try to be, I try to be as grown as possible, as mature as possible, and convey information that is valuable. That you can just go research it, research my, check my information. You know what I mean? Go, go. I want everybody to go look up eugenics. 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 I want everybody to go look that up. And then once you do that, I want you to look up Francis Galton. The Galton is Galton. Francis, Francis, Francis Galton. And then you can look up Margaret Stanger, Magret Margaret Sanger. I want you to look all this stuff up. I don't want you to just believe what I'm telling you. I want you to look it all up. But can you imagine 2021, right? So that's when all that PPP and EDD was falling around. 2021, right? $1.6 trillion was in the hands of black folk. 1.6 trillion. That's up by at least 500 billion. I think before it was either 1.2, maybe it's about at least 400 billion, one between the two. Last time I checked, I think it was 1.2 or 1.1 trillion GDP, gross domestic product. In other words, if we was a country, if black folks was a country, we would be about the 10th or ninth richest nation based on our money. But the problem with our money is that we can run down there to downtown LA to the swap meet, by the chains, the gold, the rings, and all this stuff. The status. It's all status. All that stuff is just status. We go buy the Mercedes. We don't buy property. We buy Mercedes. We buy a Bentley. I saw a guy the other day on a Bentley on the freeway. Nice blue Bentley, white convertible. I looked and had a big old dent on it. Bruh, bruh. I ain't driving no Bentley with no dent in it. Mm-mm. That's going to the shop same day. Why would I do that? A Bentley? I mean, if I'm driving a Bentley with a dent in it, somewhere there's a disconnect because I couldn't really afford that car because if my car get hit, I'm calling AAA. They coming to get the car, take it to the collision center. They're not even taking it to my home. Take it to the collision center, to the adjuster over there, have them to check it, and then if it's gone, write me a check. That's all I'm doing right there. If it's repairable, repair it, give it back, paint it, fix it, give it back. That's what I do. Now everybody maybe not be in that position. But if you drive in a Bentley, I would think you would be in that type of position. You couldn't afford it. You're right. Couldn't afford it. Crystal House. Bone. No, me and Bone always just dialogue, bro. We always dialogue. Bone is a very astute. Bone is a very astute, smart individual. You can't hear me? He said audio. Is the audio up? Okay, there we go. Yeah, Bone is a very astute individual, bro. Very smart. All good now. Thank you. Now I hear you. Okay. Very astute. Very smart. Bastards of the party. That's Bone. Training Day. That's Bone. Bone is working on a documentary that's been in the making about 5 years. So when I sit down with Bone, I got to pick his brain. He's a very astute, intelligent individual. So I don't have no problem with putting his picture up. You should have no right in voting on what a woman can and cannot do with their own body. That goes totally against nature itself. No, you're right. Hillary Clinton, when Hillary Clinton praised Margaret. Yeah, of course. Hillary Clinton is the same person that called us, what's she called? Super predators. She called black people super predators. But that was during a time when the anti-terrorist bill and the crime bill was being written, right? Everybody that you see on the Congressional Black Caucus all voted against it. I mean, voted for it. And that's how they brought it in through them, through black people. That was a FUBU situation, for black by black. Okay. You know, Margaret Sanger, niece, also involved in a man that created a Wonder Woman, William. Really got a lot of his ideas from such as the. But what about the Steve Bannon? The Steve Bannon connection. Steve Bannon's son is in business with Ice Cube over there at the Big Three. And Ice Cube talking about he had a plan for Black America, which we really never saw. He kept saying about it, and then you know I was pulling for that brother, thinking that he was sincere and genuine. But now that I'm seeing that he's linked with the likes of Steve Bannon, I'm in question because Steve Bannon is a component of eugenics. Eugenics is the fake scientific study of why they're better than us or we're lesser than us. That's what eugenics is, and they want to eradicate you. They got tools that are associated and attached to eugenics to help get rid of you. Yeah, remember Hillary Clinton labeled in the black boys super predators. Yeah, yep. Shout out to the Smurfs. Eyeball Torres, my apologies for this time. I've been half drunk and disrespectful on your channel. Well, wait a minute, what you saying, Eyeball? Well, I won't do that mess again. All respect to you and your followers. Hey, Eyeball, I never even noticed it, bro. I never even noticed it, man. You're all good, bro. No, not necessary. Not necessary. You definitely good, bro. The aspects of Tigger and YG video was creative. It fits with the Pride Month. This was great logic behind the thought. It was, is it the woman or the man? Assume nothing type video. I love the logic in it. R. Kelly, 30 years. Okay. I just want to understand it, CCL. Maybe, I mean, if you can add something to make it why they did it. I'm just saying, bro, me, myself, personally, I'm not putting on no dress for nothing. I'm just not. It's not my position. It's not my position. I ain't got nothing against people that do it, but it's not my position. See, because what you give yourself to is what you believe in. That's what we got to remember. What you give yourself is what you believe. But we all know you can't believe something and know something at the same time because a belief is a doubt. Knowing something, you know it. I know I seen Professor Melly Bell on the YouTube today at 6 o'clock. That's knowing it. But then I believe I saw him. If I say somebody say, I believe I saw Professor Melly Mill, That means they're not sure. Free R. Kelly. The question is why was it not going in the 1950s? 1950s. See, let me see. 19, trying to catch your question. In 1960, it was a revolutionary movement going on in the country. Was coming out of the world wars, and communism was on the rise. Yep. Uh, YG did was disrespectful and should be. I don't know. I don't know what to call it, bro. Me myself. What's up, Bam? What's going on with your champ? They doing it for the money and fame? Got it. Shout out. Lloyd Robinson, what's happening, bro? Peace and blessings, mailroom. Peace and blessings, Professor. Right on, Yeshua. So anybody got any more questions in regards to some of the things we covered? The Nina Boy, the R. Kelly, Tyga and YG, Eugenics, Margaret Sanger, Francis Galton, Adolf Hitler, in regards to any of that stuff. That stuff that people we selling themselves. Okay, that's stuff we need to study. That's stuff we need to know in order to navigate this life. You have to have a certain amount of information. These brains are muscles, so you must exercise them. You must pour into them. For great outcomes, you got to pour into your soul, bro. As for, let me see what he say. As for why R. Kelly, why not? Why is he a super predator? Is it true? Who do we believe? The justice system or the case is not in front of us? The rumors. Interesting. Pull up Congressional Ron Brown. Death on the plane. Yeah. At Postman, they say Hillary and Bill had their hands in that. Yep, I believe it. Yeah, Ron Brown was a good dude. The artist should have control of his video. So what you saying, Vegas? They didn't have control of their video? Beyonce versus YSL, Chris Brown, Rihanna, and the Beyonce song. Yeah, Bill Gates is a twisted individual. So what you gotta understand, right? What often happens, right? So is there such thing as enough money? Because if it was, I think Elon Musk would have stopped making it, or Bill Gates would have stopped making it. So these people are addicted to money. You know, there's many addictions in the world. Some people are addicted to drugs, some people are addicted to sex, some people are addicted to food. But then there's people who are addicted to money. And then when they have enough money, they can actually move places and people and strategically implant things into society based on their money, based on their own faulty thinking, and they can corrupt us. It's what they do. The United States is supposed to be one of the richest nations in the world, but yet we have and poverty and homelessness, poverty, and veterans sleeping on the streets. We have all this stuff, but we seem to ignore all that, right? What's up with the ball game? that's, that's the ball game. The ball game went right to it. What's up with the ball game? Why are they hopping to the ring instead of competing with the gym? The belly is too big. Yeah, I get that, man. Like I said, man walk around the ring like he's selling catfish dinners and watermelon and not smoking his car. You know, y'all seen them old men used to be on the side of the road. They had the trunk popped up with the stick. They had the watermelon back there. You get out the car a little rough, you know, kind of wobble to the back. What you looking for, sir? You know, they allowed the people that was hired to push their vision. Oh, they hired people that was hired. Well, they allowed people to push their vision. Got you. Yeah. And see, and that's another thing I have a problem with our people. They always say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Knowledge isn't power. Knowledge don't become power until you can put it into a definite plan of action that has a definite end. Till you put it into a plan of action that has a definite end. That's when knowledge becomes power. Until then, it's just words. I'm sorry, but that's facts. That's facts right there. Been speaking today to my guy. Shout out to my guy Ghost out of DC. Spectre Kurt Bone. Hope to interview him soon out of Washington DC. Been speaking to another guy named Greg. These guys are very, very influential in the music business and agent, football agents and basketball. They do a lot of different things. So been on the phone with Ghost most of the day. Very astute guy. I appreciate him. He wants to, help me figure out what it is that I do, you know, and carry it, make it bigger than what it is now, So I need that type of intellect to come in and figure how do we move the marker, move it further, you know what I mean, to where it reach a broader scope of people, to where it land on ears that is willing to help aid us in creating nail guns over handguns. Nail guns over handguns. Let me explain it again. Nail guns over handguns is an implication of building. It means to build. So if you harness it and transmute it to an equivalent of life, everyday activity, that means you're building your life. You're building your circumstance. You're building your relationship. You're building. In other words, you build up before you ever tear down. And that's the mindset I want to introduce to the young gang members. Nail guns over handguns. But what does that look like, Professor Miller? Well, all that looks like bringing together the proper people to bring in the resources and take their hand off the handgun and put a nail gun in there and show them how to frame, show them how to drywall, show them how to build structures and just be something they can stand back and look at and be very proud of, you know. And then trust me, that would disseminate into their everyday activity, and they would look to build on everything in their life through the footwork in my community too. So the word is strong. Yeah, right on. Trey baby, what's up? Well said. Thank you, Devon Cutmore. So let's look at that, Like I say, I want to talk to Cynthia about that. Cynthia she already has a nonprofit organization that's probably been running longer than most everybody in Compton that I'm aware of. Maybe there might be some other people, but I've been seeing her doing the work year after year. Some people coming in, some people leaving, other people's coming in to help her, get resources, food, giveaways, clothing. Um, Dr. Dre helped her get a van, which was very nice of him. I just hope that he would help do even a little more because he's very capable of doing it, and just helping her achieve the things that she sees the city should have. In some of the cases, you need both. With the government pushing kids like the drug dealers pushing crack, they aren't pushing functional families. It's quality, not quantity. You need our bodies for their agenda. Yeah, and that's the problem. They need our bodies for their agenda. That's the problem right there. That's the problem. We have a problem with seeing it in those terms in which you said it. Ron Brown was the Secretary of Agriculture. He got killed on the airplane under the Clinton administration. That's true. You guys subscribe to the Hood Post, man, by hitting the like button or hit the subscription button. Because if you guys hit that subscription button, that means, the numbers go up. Now, right now, based on the analytics that I'm seeing, I should be like 26,000 subs. But 50% of you guys that watch my channel don't subscribe. I think it happened with Tigger, YG and Tigger, that the higher ups put guns to their heads and said, "Dress 'em." Now that's funny. You think that, huh? No, no doubt, Cynthia. No doubt, no doubt. I think that what you do is remarkable, and can't nobody change my mind about that. I don't care. You know what I mean? I see what you do. I see what you do from my own two eyes. So yeah, right on, Cynthia. Shout out to Cynthia Nunn. Building up nonprofit is better than building up a plan to beg for reparation. How many people derived from an aged slave in California that don't own something? One man got his 20 million home back by the beach. Uh, I think that we got to put some of the greatest minds and the greatest thinkers together and figure out a plan that would work for all people, black people. Because just think about it. Just think about it. If we had those 19 babies that has been aborted since 73, instead of 39, 40,000, we'd be up around 60,000 in this country. It's just, I mean, somewhere maybe even more. You know, and I'm just thinking because those babies would have had babies because we're taking it from 73 and beyond. You know, so I'm thinking our population would be a great deal bigger. It's just my opinion. You guys don't have to have my opinion. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Terrell, how could they have a? They, I think they had like what was it? Almost a couple of times they had $1 billion lottery. You know, how do they have these big lotteries? And then you see all this homeless because it's a money ball. It's money, it's numbers, it's a money game. Bro, again, the game problem can be fixed. The game problem can be fixed. The loss of life, no, it can't be fixed. But we can fix that. We just have to come together on that. That's not as big as a problem as white America makes it out to be. See, because a lot of people's statistics and the way they point of view of looking at that is based on Europeanism and Negropean. They got some Negropeans that push their agendas, and there's only black on black crime. There's no white on white crime. There's no Mexican Mexican crime, Chinese on Chinese. There's only black on black. Why is that? Look at that picture. Let's look at that for a moment. Why is it framed in that way? Because they want you to think it's larger than what it is. You understand? They also want you to believe, well, they want you to be a part of that mindset. They want you to contribute to that. And how they do that is they change the narrative. They move the goalposts. Have you to believe, like again, believing and knowing something are two very different things. You can't know something and believe something at the same time. If you know God, you know God. If you believe you know God, then you that's doubt. You're not sure. You understand? So look at the language. It's all in the language. It's all in how you express it and how you interpret it and how you comprehend. I understand, and overstand. So therefore, I look at it from three different angles. Economics is our problem. Economics is not our problem, bro. You didn't hear me? 1.6 trillion. 1.6 trillion. That's economics is not our problem. That is not our problem. How we use economics is our problem. See, because having $1 million and maintaining $1 million are two very different things. Our dollar only circulates one time in our community. The Jewish dollar circulates 14, 15 times. The Asian dollar circulates even more than that. So that's our problem right there. It's how we use it, how we use our resources, how we hold our resources in our community. But the economical part of it, getting the money, is not our problem. Yep, that's true. That's true, Terrence. They press money every day. You right. They do that, Monique. They press it right. They press that money like it's nobody's business. The 60s AB 83B start before or after Raymond Washington murder. Oh, the A tape. Did the 60s? A trade. Yeah. Sam, what's going on, man? I really don't like speaking to that stuff, but yeah, it started around about 79, bro. Uh Top of the evening, Stan. What's going on, man? Tell me something good, bro. We in here dialoguing, chatting it up, man. And I'm trying to figure out why people. I agree. It's knowing my NY who are love for ourselves. We have all the money in the world, and what go to the white man with the because yeah, that's another thing we got a problem. We got to stop doing. We got to stop. There's liquor stores on every corner in our community. There's churches in every store in our community. All these different stuff, right? But come Monday morning, all that money goes to the bank of white supremacy. I don't care. Church is the most segregated day of the year. The most, the most segregated day of Sunday is Sunday in our country. But yet, come Monday morning, all that money goes to the bank of white supremacy. So church ain't even together. Is capitalism real or wrong? I think capitalism is real. I think everybody should have equal opportunity to get out there and do whatever they need to do. But what's wrong about it is they move the goalposts when it come to us. That's what they do. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, Ship Mailroom Goons, Reginald Taylor, GE, Stan, Crystal, Seashells, yes. Cali Boy, of course. Monique Monk, definitely. Terrence Grant, yes, sir. Righteous, man, so many of you guys that come in. Crystal, definitely. Johnny Sullivan, Monique Monk, The Ball Game, everybody. Marlena Williams, Postmaster General, everybody. Craig Moore, everybody that stopped by. I appreciate you guys. You guys continue to follow, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, share this content. Share these words, share these messages. Get them out and let's build. So I can continue to do what I do. And every now and then I'll tell you a story about the gang history. I know y'all like that, but that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. But I got to give you these real facts too, though. And that's a fact. With that being said, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Click the notification bell. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and 15th. Professor Melly Mill, the Pull Postman, you know the vibe. Marlene Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone.